Hey guys, and welcome back to another cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's map, today's replay rather, is going to be a 2v2, I believe. The map is Forodwaith. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Probably not, but maybe. And the players are going to be, spawning the lower left-hand side is myself, Mastercloud. And my ally in the lower right-hand side is Zorro134. Our opponents, spawning the top right as Mordor, we have we'll just call him Master. Latut Master? I'm not sure. And then in the top right, or top left, excuse me, we have Angel's Wrath, spawning as goblins. So it is going to be goblins and Mordor versus men and dwarves. The map is basically just a huge square. On each side there is this the outpost here, along with a couple of watchtowers kind of overseeing that. Of course, the same on the right side. There's also, I believe, a troll lair. Yeah, there is a troll lair. Is it just on the lower side? It's on the lower side there, and it is on the upper side on the left side here. So that will give a slight bonus to the goblins and to the dwarves down here if they can take advantage of that troll pit, either to level up their heroes or to take it out for extra income. All viable strategies. Now it looks like this was a 1000 game. Yeah, sometimes these games online, this is an online game, or a game that we played online. And sometimes these games you do start off with more than 1,000 resources to start off with, but in this one we are starting off with just 1,000. So it looks like as men here I've gone off for an early bunch of archers. That is to help grab this outpost as quickly as possible to start gaining that extra income. Now my archers will run into a horde of goblins here who attempt to run for the tower, it looked like at first. But now they might just be moving on to search for some farms, and my second group of archers should handle them quite nicely. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we do have Zorro building a forward mine so he can move his dwarfs up here quickly to capture this outpost. His opponent, Mordor, has gone for a Orc Pit and a Horadrim Palace, immediately upgrading his Horadrim Palace though, maybe going for some early Horadrim Lancers here, or possibly moving towards fire arrows. That will be interesting to see what he goes for here against dwarves. He is going to move down here to check out this outpost and realize that it is already captured by Zorro. So myself and Zorro each have the outpost, and that is going to give us a significant resource advantage over our opponents. Meanwhile, my archers have actually moved up to take out the enemy's troll cave here, and I'm actually hopefully trying to steal some of his experience away here and steal any gold away that he could get from destroying that himself. Meanwhile, however, he's the goblins here. I believe it's Angels, was it? It was Angel's Wrath. Let's call him Angel. Anyways, Angel here, the goblin, has snuck around the backside and is trying to capture this outpost from me. But my archers do retreat from killing that troll's lair. But he does capture it with the very last goblin there, so that is going to be a significant victory for him there. Meanwhile, another troop of his goblins have fallen down here. Back on the right side of the map, we do have the dwarves. And Mordor are continuing to do battle, but these archers are just so small in number that they cannot deal enough damage to the dwarves fast enough. So Zorro is going to be pushing forward here. And yes, Master here has gone for those early Horadrim Lancers. And hopefully deal with some of the Dwarven Guardians here. Actually getting a significant attack right there. And yeah, they just destroyed all of them. And he didn't even use the bonus here. Could have moved that eye over to give himself a bigger bonus, but didn't do that actually. Now the goblins have started to attack Zorro as well. It appears that they are teaming up against him here. Horadrim from the north and the goblins from the east. He is going to be moving around here, focusing his mines, preventing Zorro from being able to get any resources, hopefully in prevention of any Dwarven heroes coming out. Zorro, in the meantime, has decided to not build any more units. He must be saving up for a hero, and yes, King Dane does pop out there all of a sudden. I've tried to help him by sending over a couple of archers, but they do need to be wary of those Forodwaith Lancers. Meanwhile, some additional Guardians do come out, and King Dane with his leadership bonus will help keep those alive. Meanwhile, back at the enemy fortress, a troop of my swordsmen and archers have reached the goblin sort of main base here. However, with he's got 5 goblin caves just pumping out tons of these goblins, and my archers and swordsmen are not going to be able to deal the damage fast enough, so looks like I will lose that battle. Meanwhile, I do take out his watchtower up here. I believe that was his builder possibly that I killed there. Hard to tell. Maybe just a goblin in there, but that will kind of restrict some of his vision. However, he does have Azog out now, and as you can see, I was not able to take out this troll cave, so he may take advantage of that now that he does have a hero out. Zorro, the dwarves down here, it looks like has been able to stabilize, at least drive the enemy forces out of his base. He is low on resources now, so he is moving King Dane up to that troll lair of his, finally taking advantage of that. Meanwhile, the goblins are retaking the outpost on the left side of the map here, and that will give him even more income to pump out these goblins even faster. All 5 of these pits should get to work here shortly, unless he's saving up for an additional hero. Meanwhile, looks like I've built a forward barracks here, but that is going to fall, as my archers and swordsmen just cannot hold off all these goblins. And is Azog still in there? I would assume so. Yeah, he's right here in the backside, just standing there though. Regardless, this building will fall. Now those archers are focusing in, but just too much help. That does fall, and gives him all the way up to level 4. Zorro, meanwhile, continuing to build his forces. He's got out some pikemen now finally. King Dane has almost reached level 4. Once he does reach level 4, he does get that full heal ability, Mighty Rage. And it actually increases the unit's damage and armor as well, so very, very strong ability to get there at level 4. Meanwhile, I've gone for some Gondor Knights to try and deal with the swarms of goblins, although Gondor Knights really are, well, they're pretty much just the worst horsemen in the game, I would say, in terms of dealing with something like this, because they don't have a good charging through ability to sort of trample the foes, so they will kind of get taken out there. In addition, I have brought out Boromir here. He is level 4 already, and he is going to start focusing Azog here. He does sound his horn to prevent these goblins from sort of overrunning his position here. But Wildmen have been summoned, so they're going to be in the back here, destroying all of Boromir's reinforcements, and now Boromir is probably going to be in a lot of trouble here. Azog has returned, and there's just so many goblins. With Boromir, there's just no way he can fight off this many enemies. And he will go down there, granting 245 bonus resources to the goblins. Meanwhile, a secondary group of goblins has built a forward mine in the bottom here and continue to destroy my infrastructure, all my farms here. So definitely not looking good for myself, Mastercloud. Meanwhile, my ally Zorro has continued to push forward into, or has finally pushed forward into Mordor territory, as his opponent here has just not been able to produce the army required to stop this many dwarves. And while I am losing, Zorro is pushing forward here. Now my archery range is under attack. I built it a little too far away from my fortress here, and that will cause it to go down without the support. More goblins are moving up to my fortress from the lower side here. So that does conclude my recording time for this first section. Go ahead and click up here for part 2 of this series.